If you're going to be at the top of the league standings and expect to be one of the premier teams, you've got to play like that every night.
All right, Kings have won 8 of the last 10, and we're ready to go here in New Orleans. Well, both these teams are playing very well, and you see the Lakers leading everybody. Indiana at 19-7, and then Sacramento, New Orleans. And how about Denver, Jerry? What a job Buzdelic is doing there with the Nuggets, and boy, they got a nice ball club.
Well, they really do. Just so many things have fallen right for them. Obviously getting some good free agents. Carmelo Anthony, probably the main reason. Jeff Buzdelic just did a marvelous job. Veteran officiating crew here tonight, Grant.
Yep, Jess Kersey, Scott Wall, and Tom Washington. And we're glad that you're with us here from New Orleans, and it will be Sacramento with the first opportunity. And let's see if Mike Bibby will look to get the offense going after the poor performance the other night in Memphis. And the answer to that question is yes, they did set a pick for him, but fighting through was Baron Davis.
Well, and Baron Davis, obviously a great offensive player. It's good that Mike will come out looking for his offense, try to wear Baron down.
Oh, it's around and out, and a rebound taken on the floor. And the Hornets. Baron Davis straight at Christie, and may have gotten away with a travel knocked out of his hands.
Well, it certainly looked like a travel. Looked like he had about 3 steps in there after he picked up the ball, but boy, Baron's a handful whether he can travel or not.
Jerry, you see a lot of the fans standing. It reminds me of the WNBA where they'll stand until the team scores the first basket.
Yeah, sometimes that can get pretty tough. You might go scoreless 3 or 4 minutes.
And here's Wesley. So both teams with good looks that have gone in and out.
A good block out by Brad Miller, which allowed the long rebound to go to Mike Bibby.
Now Wesley guards Bibby, and Davis is on Christie. That was defended well. Look out, Davis, and it'll be 2-0 New Orleans. Turnovers were a problem the other night at Memphis, and another turnover here. 4-0.
Well, again, any turnover, certainly a player like Baron Davis is going to make you pay, taking 2 straight turnovers right to the basket for hoops.
In the last 2 games that the Hornets played, they never had the lead, and they got started off very badly in both games in the first quarter. That is not the case here at the moment. Bibby, a good look from beyond the arc. What a good sign that is for Bibby. And you know he's not going to struggle for long, and Mike Bibby makes it a 1-point game.
Well, Mike Bibby's just simply one of the best shooters in this league. Had a bad, poor shooting night. That happens. But Mike Bibby very rarely has 2 bad shooting nights in a row.
Now P.J. Brown. And it's 6-3.
P.J. Brown not known for his offense, but can shoot that spot shot. And at 6'11", 7 foot, every bit as tall as Brad Miller, maybe even longer with his long arms.
Now Blotty with 7 on the shot clock. A lot of standing around on this offensive set. Bibby's going to have to shoot at the horn. And it will be a run down out of bounds. It will be New Orleans basketball.
Get a good look at Mike Bibby as he gets a nice look, a double screen from Peja Stojakovic, Brad Miller, and Mike gets just a split-second look at it. Lottie delivers the ball right in the middle, but Hornets are a very good defensive team. Their front line very big, very physical.
And a turnover for the Hornets. Hornets will be in the Western Conference next year. If the conference isn't strong enough already, it will be stronger next year, Jerry.
Well, it certainly will. As we talked about in the Open, the Hornets really one of the premier teams in the East. I think with the Indiana Pacers and themselves probably the 2 best teams right now. And certainly with Jamal Mashburn, when he gets healthy, certainly will elevate them even higher.
Oh, nice pass from Bibby to Christie.
Good movement by Doug Christie. Well, good ball movement, good people movement always results in shots, and good shots.
3 minutes into this first quarter, now Wesley off the curl. Peja mistimed his leap, and nice defense by Miller, and it will stay Hornet basketball.
The Page had great position in there, but as you said, just mistimed his leap. You'll see George Lynch just go over the top, and Brad Miller comes in, blocks the shot, but blocks it out of bounds, so good help from Brad.
One thing that Peja will have to do better tonight. He only had 3 rebounds in 44 minutes the other evening.
Yeah, he just simply has to do more on the boards for this team. But if you're going to get 40 minutes on the floor, you just simply have to get more rebounds.
And the Kings come up with it there, and that's the second turnover for the Hornets. Oh, what a pass, and Brad Miller finishes it. Doug Christie, beautifully done. And Sacramento has their first lead.
Well, Doug Christie starting strong as he did in Memphis. Doug seems like he's really starting to play better as the season really gets kind of winding out.
And here is Davis from long range. And Miller gets it for Sacramento over McClure.
Doug Christie really challenging Baron Davis at 6'6", 6'7". Kind of can create some problems for Davis, hopefully.
And Stojakovic, nope, good look. Run down by Divac. Bibby with a corner three. Lynch, and the Hornets look to run. 3-on-2 if they hurry. And it counts the foul on Sacramento. Brad Miller picks up the personal.
Watch this great look from Doug Christie. Off the dribble, finds Brad Miller running the floor. Brad out-hustling all the Hornets. Now on the other end, David Wesley getting the ball back to McClure as the Hornets big guy runs the floor extremely well.
So the three-point attempt, and it's good. 9-7 as Floyd's Hornets start off with that 2-point lead. 7:55 left here in the opening quarter. Glad to have you on News 10. Stop 2 of a 3-game trip. Nice. Stojakovic is fouled. No, and Lynch got him on the arm, and Pacia that time set up by the teammate's screen. Had a good look and a chance for a couple from the stripe.
Well, Peja Stojakovic, certainly one of the best offensive players in the league. George Lynch, one of the better defenders. He's one of those guys that's been in this league a number of years out of North Carolina, and he's in the league because of his defense. Very solid, and that's why he's on Peja.
Peja Stojakovic has been to the line now 112 times. He's made 104. Kind of reminds me of you, Jerry, back in your early days.
Yeah, back in the early days, it's very similar, 93%.
So Stojakovic ties the game at 9.
One thing we haven't seen either team do is go inside. Certainly the Hornets, their guards do almost all of their shooting. I mean, between the starting guards and Darrell Armstrong, that's their offense.
Maybe losing the handle and is fouled. Is it a situation with the Hornets, Jerry, that if their guards are not shooting well, that they are just going to have trouble winning games, period?
Yes, I think so. I mean, until Mashburn comes back. Their front line certainly are good basketball players, but they don't expect a lot of offense from them. Certainly Mashburn will change that, but they expect to get 60% of their offense out of their guards.
Now Peja gets by a 1. Now stops and pops over P.J. Brown, and Brown has it, one of the league's best rebounders. And the Hornets can try to retake the lead here. Boy, that's a beautiful entry pass.
Certainly was. Baron Davis finding Jamal McClure, who had gotten an outstanding position in low. McClure, not one of the bigger centers, but certainly one of the more athletic. Young guy out of University of Kentucky, really creates a lot of problems.
Now the pick and roll to Divac. Vlade Divac, beautiful reverse. Mike Bibby. Well, I'll tell you, Mike has shown already here in the first 5 minutes plus that it's not the same Mike Bibby that we saw at Memphis. Boy, is he operating the offense beautifully. That was his second assist. And Brown pushed off on Divac and picks up the foul.
Well, really good job by Vlade Divac. Had good position. I think he could see he couldn't get it, so he faked it pretty well. Now here's Mike Bibby finding Vlade as he cuts to the basket, uses the rim to protect himself against a shot block, and makes the hoop.
Second foul on P.J. Brown, so he will have to leave the ball game. And David West out of Xavier, the rookie, comes in.
Yeah, this definitely changes the tone for the Hornets. I mean, David West is a nice young rookie, but certainly he does not present the problems that P.J. Brown does.
And that was a foul. They're going to call it a kick, but Baron Davis was holding on to Bibby's jersey. If they had tearaway jerseys, Bibby would be bare-chested right now.
And that might not be a pretty sight to see either. But
actually, you know what? He's been working out, Jerry. He's got the good physique now.
I know one thing. Mike is playing extremely well right now. He's really been the best player on the floor thus far.
And a skip pass knocked out of bounds with 8 on the 24 will be King's ball.
Rick Alman telling Jess Kersey he'd like to see some fouls called. Look like his cutters are being held up.
You think that's what he's telling Jess?
I know exactly that's what he's telling Jess. Jess saying, I'll get it next time.
Now Miller's going to have to hurry, losing it. 3 to shoot, and this is going to be a violation or a turnover, and it is a turnover. Davis challenging Bibby, and Bibby picks up the foul. Now the Kings, Jerry, with 3 turnovers already with 6:13 left first quarter.
Well, you're seeing the Hornets really challenging the Kings big man as we see Baron Davis going right at Mike Bibby. Mike trying to avoid contact, but officials call the foul nonetheless. But one thing we're seeing both with Vlade and Brad, when they get the ball, the Hornets big guys are really going after them.
Well, Supercuts and Embassy Suites want you to complete the 3-point play. Get your hair cut at any Supercuts location at least 3 times from now through February 29th. And you and a friend might want a trip to see the Kings-Suns game on April 9th. See Kings.com for rules and information. Beja has not made a field goal yet. He's 0 of 2. And beautiful passing from Stojakovic to Divac.
Boy, Page brings all the attention to himself. So nice cut to the basket. Brought 2 defenders to him. That allowed himself to find Vlade Divac. So that's always good. Page sometimes forgets how valuable he is even when he's not scoring.
And a jump up no. Divac has it for Sacramento. And now numbers. Miller. Brad Miller fouled, and he'll go to the line. Brad Miller bumped by Baron Davis, and that's the first foul on Davis. When we come back, Miller will be at the line. First quarter action with 5:34 left, and it's the Kings by 1.
You'd like to see your team on longest plus 500 winning streaks, and I think that Kings are well on the way to getting there.
Well, when we left you, Brad Miller was fouled, and Brad Miller try to give Sacramento a 3-point lead. Miller is shooting at 77% from the line. Well, tonight we'd like to invite you to spend some time with Dale and Christina on News 10 at 11. When you do, you'll see News 10's unique storytelling that's not sensational. So tonight, try out News 10 at 11 with Dale and Christina. And while you're at it, stick around for a special edition of News 10 after the game. 1 of 2 for Miller, and Sacramento on top by 2.
Well, pretty good start both teams. I think both teams settling into doing what they do.
Oh, that's basket interference. Brad Miller. Too bad. That ball is not going to go in.
Yeah, just tough break. Brad just couldn't get the ball off cleanly. We'll see as Baron Davis goes to the basket. See the ball up on the iron.
So the basket counts to tie it at 14. And Peja, his first field goal is a triple.
Boy, Page didn't have much space, didn't need very much space. What a shooter.
One thing about that last foul on the Hornets, it was their 15th foul, so the Kings will shoot free throws for the rest of this quarter. Sacramento with their second 3 of the ball game. Good sign for the Kings is that the Hornets have yet to make one in 4 attempts. Shot clock now winding down, and the forced shot rebounded by Christie.
Another great defensive sequence by the Kings. Mike Bibby, great little drive to the basket. I don't think he realized quite how open he was.
And a 3. Nope. Rebound Miller, and back the other way we go. Stojakovic open across court, but Bibby couldn't get it to him. And Miller mops up, so Brad Miller now with 5 points, and Sacramento leads it by 5.
Just another great hustle play from Brad Miller. Saw Mike Bibby going to the basket. Looked like Mike would make it, but Brad doesn't take anything for granted, and that's what good basketball players do. Play until the ball's in.
8 on the 24. They pounded down low to McClure. Oh, boy, that was halfway down and out.
Really about the first entry pass in low in a half-court set to the Hornets. Kings starting to look to Vlade a little more now.
And a whistle away from the play, and the foul is on the Hornets.
Now watch Mike Bibby as he penetrates to the basket. Real clever move, gets to the hoop, sees the shot blocker, just gets it up on the iron, and there's Brad Miller really hustling. The reason he was open, the guy that was guarding him had to go over and help out on Mike Bibby and tried to block that shot. So good penetration always does nice things for your team.
West picks up that foul. Bibby to extend the Sacramento lead. Brad Miller already with 5 points, 4 rebounds.
Boy, he is a stat line filler. And they're always the good stats.
Well, Jerry, the Hornets struggling just 6 of 17 from the field. That translates into 35%, and they have missed all 5 of their three-point attempts.
Yeah, they're really not one of the better shooting teams in this league, only shooting about 42% for the year. So what they do is extremely well, is rebound the ball and defend it very well.
2 to shoot. Again, they use a lot of the clock, and that's a travel. So the turnover will go to Sacramento.
Well, what the Kings are doing very well is taking away good shot opportunities by the Hornet guards, which means they got to go inside. Obviously, their big guys aren't as effective.
2-on-1 developing. Stojakovic trailing. You don't see the Kings miss many of those opportunities. And nice job by Stojakovic to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's just one of those things where Vlade didn't know quite what to do with the basketball, and Page had to take, even though he could make that shot, not an easy shot.
And Wesley with an air ball out of bounds.
I want to tell you something. Mike Bibby is doing an outstanding job on David Wesley. David Wesley is a very good perimeter shooter. Mike Bibby has challenged every shot. Wesley has not had a clean look yet.
A 12-3 run for Sacramento, and Brad Miller was being held around the waist and does not get the whistle. And it will be Hornets basketball when we come back. Sacramento here in the first quarter. Amazing there is, it was very apparent, but they missed it. 21-14 in Sacramento. Right now, Jerry, taking advantage of the Hornets, who are really struggling from the perimeter.
Darrell Armstrong has entered the game. You know, he's much like a Bobby Jackson.
Bad pass. Here's Christie. Track meet, no contest. Christie all the way.
As I said, Darrell Armstrong came right in and turned the ball over, but he has really been a great addition to this team. Came from Orlando and has made really New Orleans a better basketball team, and obviously made Orlando a worse basketball team by leaving.
Well, let's see if the Kings can continue this 9-0 run.
Now, this will be a tougher matchup for Mike in some ways. Armstrong not quite the player Wesley, but he's much quicker.
If the Hornets keep on shooting like this, it won't matter. Man, they're really struggling. They're 6 of 19. Miller thought about it, and what a pass to Massenberg. Beautifully done by Brad Miller.
Boy, Brad had a great-looking shot, but found Tony Massenberg for a point-blank throwdown. Boy, Brad doing a little bit of everything.
Well, Sacramento again with a double-digit lead on an opponent. Let's see if they can close it out. It's only the first quarter.
Well, NBA is a game of runs, so you know it's a long way to go. But if you keep playing great defense and getting out in the open floor, that's always a great sign.
That was the miss by Stacey Augmon. Now the Kings spread the floor a little bit. Bibby. Oh, Mike Bibby blows right by the rookie West, and Sacramento has a 13-point advantage.
Boy, Mike Bibby, what a beautiful take to the hoop. Brad Miller got him the ball perfectly. Right now, Mike Bibby feels just very comfortable that he can do about anything he wants on the floor.
Hornets' last basket came at 5:24 remaining in this first quarter. And Armstrong, there's got to be a lid on that basket.
Well, that's amazing. That ball was in.
Bibby. I don't know about Armstrong defensively. Man, I'll tell you, Bibby, look at him just toy with Armstrong. I mean, he went around Darrell Armstrong on that set out twice with ease.
Well, what Darrell does, he's such an aggressive guy. Sometimes he tries to steal the ball a little too much. Against a guy like Mike Bibby, you're not going to steal it much. You better try to stay in front of him. Darrell's a veteran player. I think he'll learn that as the game goes.
Wesley, finally.
And David Wesley says, yeah, finally, too. He's a big-time shooter. David Wesley's one of those guys that can, go for big numbers in a hurry. So he gets a good feel of it. He's much like Mike Bibby. He's got a great stroke.
Oh, what passing by the Kings. What passing.
Great cutting from Mike Bibby, and even better passing from Brad Miller. My goodness, is that Larry Bird out there in disguise or what?
Bibby's got 9, and the Kings lead at 29-17. Kings with their 10th assist and 11 baskets. And when they're passing like this, they're very hard to beat. And boy, this first quarter was something Rick Adelman wanted to see, and he has certainly seen his team respond. West, shot clock winding down, and blocked by Massenberg to end the first quarter. An excellent first quarter by Sacramento. And with 12 minutes gone by here from New Orleans, it's 29-17. Asia only has 1 basket. That's not a good sign if you're a Hornets fan.
Well, right now, if you're a Hornets fan, not many things are a good sign, but I think Tim Floyd's more concerned about his team finding a way to score the ball. Kings' defense has been as good as we've seen it in one quarter.
And the veteran Sean Rooks banks it home.
Sean Rooks, as you said, well-traveled in this league, out of the University of Arizona, been in about every team in the league, but big guy who can shoot.
29-19. Let's set the lineup. Bobby Jackson with Anthony Peeler, Miller, Massenberg, Stojakovic up front. And Bobby took what, Jerry, there 35 seconds to score.
Well, it's a little longer than
Exactly.
usual. It took him 30 seconds to get on the board, usually about 10 or 15.
We'll have to talk to him about that. Jackson, and numbers the other way. A lead for Peeler. Stojakovic. Oh, he missed it. I can't say if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. Boy, Jerry, that is amazing that Peja would miss a layup like that.
Yeah, Peja missed an easy one, and Baron Davis turned it into a hoop on the other end, really made a much tougher hoop. So that's a big turnaround. Gives the Hornets a chance to kind of get back in it.
Quick shooting the ball that time was Jackson, and the Kings now at 2-on-2 on defense as Davis goes all the way and draws the foul. Let's take a look at that passing that resulted in the layup opportunity.
Boy, great pass ahead from Anthony Peeler, and Peja just not really concentrating on finishing the play. Now on the other end, Baron Davis using that explosive athletic ability to get to the basket. Boy, just I don't know how many guards are playing better than Baron Davis in this league. Probably none would be the exact number.
Baron Davis going for his 10th point. Well, want to know what it feels like when the Kings play games back-to-back? Then pick up a Sacramento Bee in news racks every Friday from December 12th to January 2nd. If your copy has a lucky Southwest Airlines boarding pass in it, then you might be on your way to see the Kings Clips game at the Staples Center in L.A., followed by the Kings Blazers game at Arco the very next night. Listen to the Rise Guys on Sports 1140 for more ways to win. Now Peeler, who struggled the other night, goes down low, and again the interior passing results in an easy basket.
Well, the Hornets trying to put some full court pressure on that time. Kings handle it easily, and if you get it down quickly, you can get some open looks, as we saw there.
1 of 9 are the Hornets now from beyond the three-point circle. Peeler, and it's stripped at the last moment. Turnover, Sacramento.
Well, this is a hectic pace. Both teams really pushing the ball up and down.
Stripped by Peeler. Gets right by the Matador Armstrong. And we'll go to the line. Boy, I tell you, Darrell Armstrong is like playing against a 5-on-4 out there.
As we see, little drop-off pass from Tony Massenberg right to Brad Miller, kind of a payback. Now here you see Anthony Peeler getting right to the basket, drawing the foul. As you said, had went past Darrell Armstrong in the open court. Armstrong going for the steal and not getting it, has missed on about several steal attempts already.
Well, folks, give the gift of game. The Sacramento Monarchs holiday ticket gift packages for the 2004 season are a great gift for anyone. For more information on how to get a Sacramento Monarchs gift package, call 916-419-WNBA. And a 13-point lead.
Anthony Peeler getting to the line, getting some points. Anthony really struggled the other night against Memphis. Really probably the only time that he struggled shooting the ball all year.
Brooks, top of the Kings. And he'll be run down by the Kings. So the Kings taking advantage of 33% shooting by New Orleans.
One of the rare half-court sets the Kings have run in the last 5 minutes.
Stojakovic over Augment. And Peja does not have the touch tonight. He is now 1 of 6 shooting.
Yeah, shooting a little quick. I think that one, Augment, a good defender, but probably shot a little quicker than he needed to, as we see Brad Miller with the great box out.
Well, another missed opportunity. Baron Davis, Peja gets by Rooks, and foul by Augment, and Stojakovic will get his points from the line with 9:13 left in the half.
Kings probably very fortunate there. Looked like Augment got a lot of basketball to me. Going to get a good look at it. Nice ball fakes, gets Peja past Rooks, but now here's Augment. Got all ball. That's just really a tough call because fans reacting to it. Peja out. Sure does. Peja and the Kings getting a break on that one, no question.
They missed the hold on Brad Miller a couple of minutes ago, where he would have probably had a basket. The largest lead of the game for Sacramento at 14, and Jerry, once again, a lead on the road. I like the way the Kings are playing. I know you do too, but you can't expect the Hornets to shoot 32% for the whole ball game.
No, they're going to. This is too good a basketball team. They're going to have a run. The Kings know that. Rick Adelman knows that. It's a matter of playing consistent defense throughout, staying with what you do well. Keep doing it.
You make a good point, though. They just don't have an inside game at all. Armstrong is fouled, and that will be 3 shots. I believe he was from beyond the arc. We'll check. Foul was on Bobby Jackson. And yep, it will be 3 free throws by Darrell Armstrong.
Very dangerous play, trying to block a shot on a perimeter jump shooter. Bobby Jackson going for the shot block, didn't get it, fouled Darrell Armstrong, which is going to result in 3 free throws.
Armstrong shooting 75%, and he missed it.
Going to get a good look at it as the ball swung from Augmon there. You'll see Armstrong, you see Jackson come in the picture, hit the arms as the ball is let loose. But you know, it's just a very difficult play. Coaches will tell you, don't try to block a shot on a perimeter shooter. It's just the odds are very much against it. You know, your shot block should come around the basket, in the basket area.
Hornets are 4 of 7 from the line. Make that 5 of 8. And it's 37-24.
Hornets really trying to put some good pressure on the Kings. Thus far has not bothered the Kings.
Massenberg likes this spot on the floor. Sets up. Now Jackson. Jackson, how did he do that?
I don't know how he got out of that double team, but he did.
And it's 39-24. The Kings with their biggest lead of the ball game. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the first half. Kings with the advantage in the paint. Baron Davis changed his mind. Now P.J. Brown.
Well, you'd like to see P.J. Brown shoot perimeter shots. Again, Brad Miller going to the floor along with Tony Massenberg. Good hustle plays, ends up in good basketball.
We'll have a timeout at the next whistle. Jackson, a 3. And it's rebounded by Rooks. I'll tell you what, the way the Hornets are playing right now, the Kings have an opportunity to break this game wide open if they can make some shots like they just missed by Bobby Jackson. It's easy to see at the moment why the Hornets have lost their last 2 games to both the Clippers and the Nuggets on the road. Timeout on the floor. And Bobby Jackson off the Sacramento bench with 2 baskets for 4. Sacramento with a 15-point lead.
On this roster, and always has been, probably, in my opinion, you know, maybe the best teammate that's ever shown up in a Sacramento uniform.
Well, to me, he started the entire turnaround when he said, yeah, I'll come play for Sacramento. It was the only free agent of notoriety that said, you know what, I don't have a problem going to Sacramento. And it was his lead that started to turn around this franchise. And a rebound taken by Doug Christie. Lonnie at the last year of a 6-year contract with Sacramento. Sundala has checked in. Now it's Divac. And if he keeps on shooting like that, he'll get a couple more years out of that body.
Boy, nice play from Anthony Peeler. Drew the defenders to him and found Vlade Divac for a little perimeter shot. Vlade seemed like as he's aging, shoots the ball better on the perimeter.
Kings with their biggest lead of the ball game. Hornets now in 9 of 30. And Tim Floyd has got to be concerned. They've only made 3 of their last 16. At the moment, this looks like Tim Floyd's Chicago Bulls.
Very similar, but we know they're not. And that's what you got to keep in mind. This is a team that has been a winning team for a lot of years, as we just shown.
And crashed to the boards. McClure. The Kings did not come up with a loose ball there. And now numbers 41-26. Christie looks to spread the floor.
And McClure with that outstanding tip. 1 against 3, but he got it.
Boy, look at Bobby. He saw McClure on him. You see those eyes get wide? It was like Bobby Jackson had some chocolate in front of him and he was deciding which one to take. Oh boy, I mean, you saw him set up McClure and go right around him, Jerry.
Well, just like he did Sean Rooks before, but Bobby says, hey, no center's going to step out on me and keep me from getting to the basket.
Oh, a nice inside move by Brown. Missed it. That's the way the first half has gone for the Hornets.
Hornets starting to get some second chance opportunities, which always hurts. That time Baron Davis had a clean look at a 3, not able to make it. Darrell Armstrong gets a clean look at a 3.
And a loose ball foul on Doug Christie.
Well, get a good look at Bobby Jackson just taking one-on-one. As you said, you see Jamal McClure come out, takes him right to the baseline, gets it over the top, gets the big hoop. But right now it looks like that, you know, the Kings really need to get 5 guys to get back to the board. Getting out rebounded a little bit. That's always a factor with this team. Get 5 purple shirts going to the hoop.
And finally, Darrell Armstrong on the 4th opportunity on that possession to make it 43-28. Sacramento shooting 55%. And it's deflected, and a foul in the backcourt on Anthony Peeler as Bobby Jackson is down at the other end of the floor. And a timeout on the floor. Bobby getting up slowly. Sacramento with the lead.
More like the Kings. Yep. They had the great assist-to-turnover ratio.
Boy, the Hornets have only made 6 of their last 26 attempts from the field.
And that's always a little scary. They're way too good a team to continue to shoot this poorly. So Kings just got to keep doing what they're doing well, knowing that the Hornets will have a run at some point, although not like that. I don't know if you know, after a timeout, that's the play you want to see.
Not to get greedy, but you just get the feeling that the Kings should be up by at least 20 points right now, and you got to hope that they don't let this opportunity go right by the board. They got to really pound it in now, and now they turn it over. Back-to-back turnovers by the Hornets and the Kings, and it will be New Orleans basketball.
Rick Adelman trying to plead a case that Vlade Divac was being held. Certainly the Hornets defenders very aggressive in there. It's one of those things where you got to go get the basketball.
Each team with 7 turnovers, and make that 8 for the Hornets.
Armstrong very sloppy with his ball handling early on in this game. He has really been good this year. A little bit out of character so far.
Now 8 to shoot. Vlade turns away from the double team and is fouled. Well, you know, you talk about slumps in pro sports and how they sometimes can be prolonged, but the Hornets, and one of the reasons why they lost their last 2 games of the road trip and why they're losing so badly here, in their last 3 games, including this one, they are only 9 of 56 in three-point shooting.
Yeah, and it's, well, perimeter shooting kind of comes and goes, and I think anyone who follows the sport knows that. And of course, they're a team that depends on the perimeter shooting because they really don't have any consistent low post offense. So when you depend on outside shooting and you don't get it, you're going to get beat.
Now Steve Smith will come in, a guy that can shoot.
You know, the Kings a little bit that way themselves, certainly without Chris Webber, have not had the consistent low post scoring at all. And when they do not get outside shooting, which they're getting tonight, they've struggled.
Smith only shooting 36%, the veteran out of Michigan State. And Bibby, Miller, and Stojakovic will come back in at the next whistle. Rick Adelman understands this opportunity and is going to really try to capitalize by putting in his main horses.
Boy, the Kings just doing a great job defensively. Doug Christie getting into Baron Davis.
Nope, they miss another chance. A quick shot by Christie. I'll tell you, the Hornets are lucky right now that they're within the 15-point range. They should be getting blown out at the moment.
I'm just thrilled to death the way this Kings guard line is defending the Hornets guards. Armstrong, Davis, Wesley have really struggled to get clean looks at all. And you see the stat line on Brad Miller, as usual, filling it up.
Yep. Well, the Kings have outscored the Hornets 34-17 since it was 11-9 New Orleans. And let's see if the Kings can get Stojakovic going. If they do, they may run away and hide.
Well, if Steve Smith guards Pager, they're going to have a great opportunity, I can tell you. He's not the defender that George Lynch wants, so Pager will certainly get some opportunities, although Steve Smith's a very good shooter himself.
Wesley back in on the curl. Nope. And finally, it's Sacramento. Wesley is 1 of 7 shooting. Stojakovic. And now the Kings will set up the half-court set.
Yeah, good decision. Couldn't get anything in transition. Didn't force anything.
And it's off of Smith with 7 to shoot. Right now, in the last 3 or 4 minutes, this game has really gotten ragged on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, neither team probably the last couple of minutes being as effective as they can be.
We've gone 2 minutes and 10 seconds without a point.
But I know one thing right now, Rick Adelman is so pleased with his defense, he's not complaining too much because the Kings making it very difficult.
And a foul on the Hornets. That is only the 4th team foul, so it's non-shooting.
And that's what Rick Adelman wants. He wants the fouls called when he's on his, to keep his cutters from being bumped and held up.
Hornets have gone 7 minutes with only 2 baskets. But they're only down 15. Peja. Nice pass to Vlade Divac.
Well, Peja Stojakovic again drawing a lot of attention for himself, which opens up a teammate. That time Vlade Divac, Peja showing that he can do a lot of things other than just score the basketball.
45-28.
Sometimes great scorers have to wait their turn. You know, you can't just get shots when you want them.
And now a foul away from the ball.
Watch Peja now as he draws 2 defenders to him. Who's open? Vlade Divac. Peja delivers the ball perfectly. That's just great basketball. That's what you have to do.
Kings are in the penalty. Doug Christie picks up a second. Vlade Divac's 4 of 4 in this game with 8 points. It's 45-28. Well, the Kings will be home Sunday, and we'll have it for you here on News 10. The Portland Trail Blazers in town. The Kings looking to bounce back from a 24-point blown lead up in Portland earlier in the year.
Yeah, very frustrating loss. Kings probably played as good in the first half as they possibly can, and then had several opportunities down the stretch to win it, but couldn't.
Blazers have really been a tale of two teams. I don't think they've won a road game yet.
No, they have not won a road game.
0-8, I believe, are the Blazers away from the Rose Garden. 3 minutes left.
Always a little bit of a soap opera with the Blazers, as we see Doug Christie going right through 2 defenders with that explosiveness.
Christie has 6. Let's see if the Kings can close out this half strong and not let these Hornets back in the game. P.J. Brown. And Brown with his second basket. Vlade lost it.
Yeah, put it on the floor right in front of Baron Davis, and you're not going to keep it long doing that.
That's the 8th turnover. Now Wesley gets to step and sets up P.J. Brown again. Well, P.J. Brown with back-to-back baskets, and a 17-point lead is down to 13.
Well, P.J. Brown, very good basketball player, one of the better power forwards in this league. A couple of clean looks.
Stojakovic posting on the smaller Baron Davis. Forced that one, Jerry, and he's now 1 of 7.
Yeah, he really went away from Baron Davis. Really, Baron at 6'2", really couldn't have kept him from going over the top.
Wesley. Well, that would have been a big make there. David Wesley now 1 of 8. And Divac fouls Baron Davis. And a timeout. Late second quarter. It's teams in a quarter. And now a chance with that 17-point lead to be reduced to 11 if Davis can hit the free throws. And again, you don't want to give a struggling team any momentum going into the locker room, as that ball is way short off the hands of Baron Davis.
Especially when you're on the road, because I don't care, when you're on the road, it's tough to win anytime, and certainly to have a lead and a big lead, you've really got to take advantage of every opportunity. So the Hornets have been able to fight back to some reasonable realm, and right now Rick Allen wants his team to get back on track offensively.
Bibby behind a Divac screen.
And boy, that's a great way to do it. Get Mike Bibby a look. Vlade Divac, good screen. Mike Bibby didn't hesitate.
11 points for Bibby. We approach the 1 minute mark here in the half. Now Steve Smith. Wesley really struggled with his shot, a 2-pointer, and wow, unbelievable. That was 2 feet wide left.
And Kings were very fortunate there. Doug Christie actually left David Wesley on that shot, left him wide open, which normally you wouldn't do a good shooter, but I guess it worked.
Well, he's not a good shooter tonight. 49-35. Bibby. Nice catch by Christie, but he had to throw it back into the play as he was going out of bounds. I don't think Wesley, well, look at this, he turned it over. Man, and Wesley's starting to hear it from the fans, and you can't blame him. He looks like he's totally lost out there tonight.
Yeah, he is really frustrated. I mean, one of those nights so far for David Wesley, who certainly had a terrific year thus far, but this game, this may be the worst half he's had in 3 or 4 years.
David Wesley, of course, in that tragedy with his good friend Bobby Phills, who was killed in that automobile accident outside the Charlotte Coliseum.
Kings going to run down the clock. A little one-on-one with Baron Davis and Mike Bibby.
3 to shoot. Oh, nice pass. And Christie will go to the line. Mike Bibby, nice patience, waited, spotted the open Doug Christie.
And David Wesley just putting it all together. Lost Doug Christie totally. Here's the clock runs down. Mike Bibby has nothing, but there's Doug Christie wide open. You see David Wesley come in your picture late. That's his man. So Wesley just struggling on both ends.
And 50 points for the Kings on the road, and Rick Adelman's going to put Bobby Jackson in for Vlade Divac here in the final 7 seconds.
And Page will go to power forward for the last 7 seconds.
Sacramento with a back-to-back. They'll be in Atlanta tomorrow to take on the Hawks and then fly home after the ball game.
Kings might try to pick up full court here a little bit to use clock. They certainly don't want to let Baron Davis get a run at the basket.
1 of 2. And it's 50-35. Davis at the horn. And this half comes to an end. Sacramento looking very good on the road here tonight from New Orleans. We've played 24 minutes. And Sacramento will take a 50-35 lead into the locker room.
Who struggled thus far. But have to go.
Well, I would think that the Kings are going to try to get Peja Stojakovic the ball in the first possession or two of this second half, because he only made 1 basket. He was just looking at me as I was talking, reading my lips, and he said me, and I said, yeah, you're going to get the ball. So, I mean, I'd be very surprised if they don't run a play or 2 for him to start this quarter. Good defense.
Well, Baron Davis really forced that, didn't have anything.
Now Brad Miller pops out. And Miller. And put it in the bucket, send him to the line. Brad Miller with 9 and a chance for double figures. Nice start to this third quarter for Sacramento.
Now watch Brad Miller as he comes down the lane. Shot blocker. P.J. Brown goes up there, takes it up and under, and Brad Miller is about as proud of himself as he can get on this. You can see another look at it. P.J. Brown comes over with the shot block, a little up and under move. Now watch Brad. He's thinking, yeah, that was fun.
Misses the line.
And then misses the free throw.
Yep.
A very good free throw shooters. Missed a couple tonight.
So the Kings have equaled their largest lead. Baron Davis in the backcourt with David Wesley. Davis 4 of 11, Wesley 1 of 9. And here's P.J. Brown with the lean-in 17-footer. Christie all over the glass.
Boy, you love to see guards come back for long defensive rebounds. Doug Christie doing a little bit of everything, taking Baron Davis out of the game on one end, rebounding on the other.
Well, you see Lynch is really doing a nice job of preventing Stojakovic from getting the ball as Divac misses the 17-footer.
Well, George Lynch is a terrific defender and doing a nice job on Peja. Peja just got to play the game. Don't worry about offense. Play the game.
Boy, another terrible play by Baron Davis.
Just really out of control right now. Trying to do too much.
And here is Christie to Miller. They act like they're playing catch in the backyard.
Well, Brad Miller, another great hustle play. Doug Christie saw him and rewarded him for the great hustle.
And the Kings extend their lead, the biggest of the game. I don't know what's going on with the Hornets, whether the Kings are just catching them at the right time, but they don't look very good.
They definitely look out of sync. And, you know, they're a team that depends on their guards. And their guards aren't getting it done a lot because of the great play from the Kings guards.
And a whistle and a foul on the Hornets. Christie with 3 assists in this ball game.
Now watch Doug pushing the basketball up the floor. Watch Brad Miller's hustling, and Doug Christie rewards him. That's just great hustle play. Brad Miller getting the hoop, outrunning all the Hornets' big guys.
Oh, Mike Bibby just right by Wesley, who's playing with 3 fouls. And Bibby has 13.
Well, Mike Bibby has a lot of confidence. You can see how he's playing. Feels like that he can get good shots against David Wesley. Certainly is.
Third quarter action. It is all Sacramento here from New Orleans. Wesley.
Well, again, Mike Bibby really challenged that shot, made it very difficult.
And the Kings turn it over for the 10th time.
Well, just another 6 inches, and that would have been a layup, because that really was a pretty good play. Brad Miller running, Doug Christie threw it ahead.
And another missed 3-point attempt. 1 of 16 are the Hornets.
Now, that's not very good, is it?
Well, not really, Jared.
Okay.
Not unless the one ball that you made was the money ball.
Then that would be good.
Stojakovic, speaking of money.
And that is money. Peja Stojakovic had a clean look, got a clean result.
59-37, Stojakovic with only his 2nd basket.
Neither team lighting it up, but 3 of 8 looks pretty good compared to 1 of 16.
Wesley. Now P.J. Brown, good defense, 5 on the 24. I after a while, Wesley's going to have to just stop shooting the basketball. David Wesley, just a nightmarish game, 1 of 11. And the thing is, his shots are not even close.
Yeah, I mean, for a quality shooter, it's so surprising to see him struggle this badly. And we're seeing Baron Davis again struggling as well.
And Stojakovic stops, fires for three. And the Hornets are in deep, deep, deep trouble here on their home floor. Stojakovic and the Kings running away at 62-37. And Tim Floyd needs to talk it over, Jer. Man, what a good start to this third quarter.
Well, it can't be any better. And Peja Stojakovic, as you said, needed some good looks. He's got them. Good question. Well, number one is anymore there's only 2 rounds. So years ago there used to be 7 or 8 rounds. So very seldom would a player be missed, although it still happened. But it's as many people will tell you, it's not a science, and it where you are at when you graduate from college or finish college doesn't mean that's where you're always going to be. Ask Brad Miller.
62-39. And Miller a little bit short. Rebound McClure.
Good look by Brad Miller. That's exactly the shot that he wants. Probably no big man in the league shoots it better.
Now they're posting Lynch against Stojakovic. And back-to-back baskets by the Hornets. 62-41.
Well, right now Kings really need to answer this mini run by the Hornets.
Kings shooting 57%, 10 on the 24. Vladdy eyes the clock and is fouled. Actually, they're going to call the foul. I believe Wesley running over Mike Bibby. Let's see who he. Nope, it's going to be on George Lynch.
Yeah, George Lynch really just grabbing. Looked like Peja Stojakovic are running into Peja, certainly trying to do what he can to keep Peja from getting open. And if I'm George Lynch, I'd probably do about anything I could too.
Third team foul. Divac foul, 4th team foul, and Vladdy will pick himself up off the floor and go to the line.
Boy, nice move by Vladdy. A little quickness in the Divinator as he goes to the hoop. You'll see going there, trying to use the basket, and here's P.J. Brown, McClure both going after him. Vladdy draws the foul, got hit pretty hard there, took a pretty good spill.
Had supersonic speed right there in that move by Vladdy Divac.
I mean,
right?
that was just, I mean, it's just kind of a vroom.
Yeah, it's like a Concorde going down the court.
It kind of messed my hair up over here on the bench, you know.
Miller, and that's a mistake. They're going to call a 24-second violation. They're going to say that Lynch never had possession, and the Kings were not aware that the shot clock had not been reset.
Yeah, that's probably an accurate call.
Yeah,
very disappointing for the Kings. Just not aware. That's certainly understandable, maybe. I mean, Lynch should have had the ball. He just never got it.
And only the second three-pointer.
Well, Lynch providing some of the offense now. Not known for his outside shooting, as you see, really a flat trajectory, but able to make it.
Well, the 25-point game is down to 17.
Well, good timeout from Tim Floyd. Certainly needed one, had to take it, and his team has responded.
Bibby. Mike Bibby, foot on the line, a 2-point basket. And Mike Bibby shooting the ball well. He's 6 of 11. He has 15 to lead all scorers.
Seems like each time the Hornets have made a run or a mini run, Mike Bibby has had the answer.
Now Davis against Christie. And into the hands of Divac, and guess what? Brad Miller's on the floor again. Yeah, that's a careless pass by Bibby, and that's the 12th Sacramento turnover.
Now watch as Mike Bibby comes off the Brad Miller screen, does not hesitate. That quick release right over the top. You just can't do it better than that. Unfortunate turnover in the open floor.
And Divac fouling McClure away from the play. That's only the first team foul on Sacramento. Meanwhile, the Kings will be at the line for the rest of this quarter, as the Hornets have already picked up 4 team fouls.
Well, you get the feeling that if Doug Christie can continue to make it so tough on Baron Davis, and of course Wesley struggles, it's going to be tough for the Hornets to come back.
Absolutely. I mean, Davis is 4 of 14. Wesley's 1 of 11.
But it's always scary when you have two explosive players like that struggle so much. You're always afraid they may go 10 in a row at some stretch.
Yeah, but you know what? And that's very true. But at the other end, the Hornets are going to have to stop Sacramento, and the Kings right now are shooting 58%.
Well, one of the reasons they are, though, because the Kings are in the open court. I mean, the Hornets are not making shots, therefore the Kings are getting in the open court. That's why it's such a multiplier goes into effect. When you start making shots, the other team has to take it out of bounds, has to run their offense. And that's really a lot tougher.
All right, finally a timeout has been called, and we'll take it with 5:01 left, third quarter.
Yeah, where their offense is so focused on that, when they don't make them, or when they didn't make them, they just could look very bad.
Baron Davis, three-pointer. That's more like it from him. And it's 65-49. Important that the Kings, Jerry, again, because of the situation where they've blown leads on the road, you know that's going to play in their mind to close out the quarter strong. Bibby, a three from the wing. Mike Bibby, and he's been big, Jerry. He's made shots at key times.
He certainly has. I mean, he has been the guy that just seems like consistently has been the run stopper. Anytime it looks like the Hornets that maybe get something going, Mike puts an end to it.
68-49. Sacramento 5 of 10 now from the circle. Now Lynch with 2 to shoot. All right, so now they're starting to make some threes. That's back-to-back threes for the Hornets.
Well, it's a little bit of a surprise from George Lynch, but he's been really the guy as much as anyone that's brought him back with a couple of threes and a 2 inside.
Divac, Stojakovic, and a rebound, Baron Davis. Hornets showing a little life here in the third. They were down 25. It's now 16. Now Jamal McClure with 10 on the 24. And it's now 14-point lead.
Well, if you're Tim Floyd, you're fairly happy right now because your team has cut about half of that lead away.
That's right. And now the fans starting to make some noise for the first time. And Lynch fouling Divac, and Vlade will go to the free throw line.
Well, that's a good move by the Kings as we see Vlade getting a chance to shoot some free throws. Now here's the Bibby basket, just a catch. The defender running at him, doesn't hesitate, right in the middle. Mike Bibby knows he's got the stroke going.
Bibby with 18, and right now the Hornets are on a 17-7 run.
And Vlade Divac chance to get some easy points.
Boy, that was not even close.
Well, he was totally out of sync on that free throw.
Well, you know one thing, if the Hornets can get into the fourth quarter with this game in single digits, they're going to be thrilled.
They are going to be ecstatic. So that's what the Kings want to avoid. Make sure they finish this quarter a little stronger, get some stops here down the stretch.
69-54. Just over 3 minutes left, third quarter. McClure straight away. So the drought is over for the Hornets, Jerry.
It certainly is. You know, getting some perimeter shots from McClure and Lynch.
Through the hands of Divac. Pacey says, look what I found. 13 for Stojakovic. Make that 15 for Page.
Make that 15, and Page being in the right place at the right time.
71-56.
Kings had a 15-point lead at the half, still have a 15-point lead. So
Baron Davis, and a three for Baron Davis. 13-point Sacramento lead.
Well, Barron's made his last 2 threes, so he's starting to get a little bit of a stroke going. That's always scary.
Bibby mishandling it. That was short, and P.J. Brown has it. Hornets trying to get back in this basketball game. Blocked by Bibby. Big defensive play by Bibby. And a foul will send Bibby to the line. That's a big sequence in the basketball game, Jerry.
Certainly was. The Darrell Armstrong really thought he had an open look for a three. Mike Bibby came up with a big defensive play. And then takes the ball the other way. You'll see that Darrell Armstrong steps over there trying to steal the ball in the backcourt. Never a very good decision against a clever guard like Mike Bibby.
So a chance to get the lead back up to 15. Bibby 7 of 13 and 3 of 3 from the line. This free throw will give him 20 if it falls. In and out.
A lot of in and out balls on this side, on this ring down here at the left.
So maybe it's the basket because we saw a lot of balls.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I really do. I wonder a little bit, you know, that as poorly as the Hornets shot, and we're seeing a great free throw shooter, a good free throw shooting team like the Kings missing a lot of free throws.
And Stojakovic backs it to Bibby, and the Kings will use clock here. 75-61. Now remember, the Kings will get the ball to start the fourth quarter, so a basket here and a basket to start the fourth quarter will really put the Hornets in a bind.
Well, the main thing here is make sure you get a good shot right at the end of the clock.
Jackson blocked, and the third quarter is over. Well, the Kings will start the fourth quarter with a 14-point lead and the basketball. Williamson foul by Armstrong as he brings the ball across the timeline. And Bobby injuring his right thumb a little bit.
Darrell Armstrong, very aggressive defender. Looks like he's taking a lot of chances out there defensively. It's always, if you're the Kings, you'd like to see the Hornets get in foul trouble early.
Yep. Peeler out there with Jackson, Miller, Stojakovic, and Massenberg. And a foul on Brad Miller. It was a good foul. That probably prevented a basket. And you can't call a clear path foul because nobody had possession.
No, absolutely. That's a very good here again. Brad Miller, very smart basketball player, knew what he was doing. Tim Floyd very upset about it, but hey, those are the rules, so they're not going to change here tonight. I don't think they are. Jess is saying, no, we might change the rules someday, but not tonight.
Sacramento, Jerry, had a 25-point lead at one point in that third quarter. It's now 14.
Yeah, Baron Davis made a couple threes. George Lynch got a couple of big hoops as well. So right now they feel like they're back in the game. Kings got to continue to play solid defense and challenge those perimeter shots.
That's way off the mark, and the Kings almost squandered that loose ball.
Yeah, they're very careless and casual going after it. I mean, you got to attack the rebounds.
Massenberg, no, and into the hands of the Hornets.
Hornets taking some half-court traps, doing a lot of things pressure-wise, trying to get the Kings out of their offense, get them out of sync.
A minute gone by here in the fourth. Five on the shot clock. The rookie West, 2 to shoot. Did not hit the rim, and that's a 24-second violation.
And looked like McGlure over the top of Brad Miller's back. No call, but fortunately 24-second violation anyway. Brad trying to plead his case with Tom Washington. Won't make any difference. Fortunately, Kings have the ball.
Tonight it's New Orleans. Tomorrow it's Atlanta. Kings have only won twice in that city in the Sacramento era franchise.
Sure there'll be a packed house there at Phillips Arena.
Yeah, probably about 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah.
And Brad Miller has 13.
Brad Miller doing a little of everything. He is so quick with his shot. Doesn't get a lot of lift, but doesn't need to because he delivers it very quickly.
77-61. Miller with the rebound.
And Tony Massenberg made Baron Davis change that shot.
Peeler. And he missed the pull-up three. Look at him go after that ball. And Massenberg with the tip.
Oh, just great effort. Tony Massenberg, Anthony Peeler to get second and third shot opportunities. So that's something that makes Rick Adelman very happy to see his team out.
Nice pick and roll to West. It's the easiest basket the Hornets have had tonight other than the first 4 minutes of the game.
Well, Steve Smith, veteran player. Excellent play.
Brad Miller. And he'll go to the line and trying to finish it off, 84-65. Tell you one thing, the Hornets, their record would tell you otherwise, but they're obviously in a rut, and it's easy to see based on the way they're playing tonight how they were blown out against the Clippers and Denver in their last 2 ball games.
Watch this great up and under move by Brad Miller. Gets a chance for a 3-point play. And you're right. You can see why, because really they're a perimeter shooting team that depends on making shots. They're not making them, and they don't look very good when they don't.
Brad Miller adds on. He's 3 assists away from his 3rd triple-double of the year. 4 minutes gone by here in the 4th. It is Sacramento dominating this basketball game. I don't think there will be any blown leads tonight. Armstrong blocked by Miller. 4-on-2 the other way. And more passing, but Peeler couldn't hit the reverse. An outlet Armstrong. I don't care. You've been watching this game a long time, and you see a guy struggle like that, man. You start feeling sorry for him. David Wesley now 2 of 13. It's 91-73.
Yeah, you really almost do. You just don't want to let him do it again, though.
Christie. And it's 93-73. Doug Christie. And just amazing passing going on right now by Sacramento. 28 assists on 35 made baskets. Brown is fouled by Stojakovic. And a timeout on the floor. Look at a baseball pass from Brad Miller to Bobby Jackson. And the Kings running.
Good food, good friends, and a win.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
You want to see, hopefully that's